Bored at home? Let's grab some cardboard and make these adorable DIYs. I sketched a wavy frame on a piece of cardboard and trimmed around the outer curves. I used a craft knife to pop out the center. Then I started painting the frame using light brown acrylic paint. I applied 2 coats, and once it was dry, I started painting vertical stripes using dark brown paint and a small flat brush. I made sure to leave equal gaps between each stripe and kept my hand as steady as possible. Now we're going to need some colored air dry clay. I'm starting with orange clay and shaping it into a carrot. Using a clay tool, I'm adding little grooves you see on a carrot. I'm attaching it to one of the corners of the frame using PVA glue. For the carrot stems, I'm rolling out some dark green clay into a thin noodle-like shape. Then I'm cutting 3 small equal pieces to create the stems. I'm joining 3 pieces together slightly at the bottom and then attaching the stems to the carrot. I'm flattening out a piece of clay to form the egg white, and then I'm attaching it to the top left corner of the frame. Using a clay tool, I'm adding some circular dents to give it a more realistic look. Now I'm adding the egg yolk right in the center. Using red clay, I'm shaping a strawberry and then adding tiny details all over the surface. I'm filling each of them with a tiny piece of yellow clay to recreate the little seeds you see on a strawberry. Then I'm taking a piece of green clay, shaping it into a little star and attaching it to the top of the strawberry. I'm placing the strawberry on the top right corner of the frame. I'm mixing light green clay with a little white and yellow to get the perfect shade of green. Then I'm shaping it into half an avocado and creating a small dent in the bottom half. After adding the avocado pit, I'm rolling out a thin strip of dark green clay and wrapping it around the edge to create the outer layer. I'm removing the excess clay, smoothing the edges and attaching it to the final corner of the frame. I'm using a detailing brush and some light brown paint to darken the edges of the egg white, giving it a slightly crispy fried look. I made 4 baby pink air dry clay hearts, and I'm attaching one to the center of each side of the frame to tie everything together. I cut a piece of white cardstock to fit the frame. Now I'm using a red marker to draw a vertical line along the left edge of the paper. Then I'm aligning my ruler horizontally across the top, drawing another line. I'm adding another set of parallel lines right beside the first ones to create a double-lined border. I'm using a light blue marker to draw horizontal lines, leaving about 1 centimeter of space between each line. Now I'm adding double-sided tape along all 4 edges of the paper. After peeling off the paper liners, I'm placing a piece of clear plastic sheet on top. I'm taking a piece of cardboard that I cut to the same size and gluing the paper piece onto it using a plenty of PVA glue. This creates our dry erase board for the grocery list. Finally, I am attaching the frame to the board. To make it stick to the fridge, I'm taking a magnetic strip, peeling off the backing and attaching it to the back of our dry erase board. And that completes our dry erase grocery list fridge magnet. You can write your grocery list with a dry erase marker and it's completely erasable. It's such a cute and little fridge accessory, and I absolutely love how it turned out. For this DIY, I'm starting with a cardboard roll and cutting it into 2 pieces, each 4 centimeters long. Next, I'm taking a piece of cardboard and tracing around the rolls to create the bases. I'm cutting those out and gluing them onto the bottom of each roll. Now I'm taking a 3 cm wide strip of brown cardstock and wrapping it around the roll to see how much I need. I'm trimming off the excess. Then I'm folding the strip in half, making sure both sides are roughly equal. Along the bottom half, I'm making little vertical cuts with my scissors all the way across. Next, I'm wrapping the uncut half around the top edge of the cardboard roll and gluing the ends together. I'm taking another cardboard circle and gluing it onto the top to create the lid for our tiny box. To give the lid a cleaner look, I'm gluing a paper circle underneath it to cover up those little cuts around the edges. I'm adding small dollops of hot glue around the top edge in a scalloped pattern to create a cute whipped cream frosting effect, just like the top of a little cake. I'm adding another layer of hot glue just underneath to make the frosting look fuller and more dimensional. Then I'm adding a little more glue to blend the 2 layers together, and I'm creating the frosting effect with my glue gun all the way around the bottom edge of the box as well. Now I'm taking this rose mold and using the tiniest one to fill in with hot glue. Once the glue has completely dried, I'm popping it out of the mold, and I made 5 tiny hot glue roses like this. I'm arranging them evenly around the top of the box, making sure they're equally spaced, and then gluing them down onto the lid. I'm taking a small piece of paper and wrapping it tightly around the back of my little brush to make it look like a tiny candle. I'm securing the end with some glue. I've made this tiny droplet shape with hot glue and I'm attaching it to the top of the candle to create the flame. Then using my glue gun, I'm creating this melted wax effect around the top edge of the candle. I'm attaching the candle to the center of the cake box. To paint our tiny cake box, I'm using chocolate brown acrylic paint. I'm taking the lid off and painting both the lid and the box in the same shade. I'm giving everything 2 coats for an even finish. For the piped frosting around the edges, I'm using off-white paint to add some contrast. Now I'm going ahead and painting the tiny roses with red acrylic paint. I'm painting the candle metallic gold and using yellow paint for the flame. And here is our tiny cake box. For the other cake box, I'm using my glue gun to create these angled teardrop shaped frosting details around the edge. Then I'm making these U-shaped loops that connect end to end all the way around the side of the lid. To add more details, I'm making these tiny hot glue hearts on the box. Then I'm creating icing effect all the way around the bottom edge of the box. Lastly, I'm adding a few little hearts to the top of the lid as well. To paint the box, I'm using pastel yellow acrylic paint. I'm going to give it a couple of coats so the paint looks really opaque. For the frosting, I started with this pink shade, but it looked a little too bright, so I added some white to tone it down. I'm using the same color for the frosting around the bottom edge and the little garland details as well. For the tiny hearts, I'm going with a soft lavender shade. And here we have our DIY tiny cake boxes made from cardboard rolls. I'm so happy how adorable these turned out. For this project, I'm starting with an empty kitchen roll and I'm cutting it down to 15 centimeters long. Next, I'm taking a 7.5 centimeter wide piece of cardboard and carefully peeling off the top layer to reveal that corrugated texture underneath. Once that's done, I'm mixing these acrylic paints together to create this peachy pink shade. I'm painting the entire cardboard roll with it, and to get a nice opaque finish, I'm going to go for 2 coats of paint. Now I'm taking some white acrylic paint and painting the corrugated cardboard piece. Before painting the whole thing, I'm first measuring how much I need by wrapping it around the roll and trimming off the excess. I'm painting the rest of the surface white. Now I'm taking this pretty floral print paper napkin and unfolding it. I'm placing the cardboard strip on top and using it as a guide to cut the napkin to size. I'm also leaving a little extra around the edges, which you'll need when we attach it to the cardboard. Then I'm applying a thin, even layer of Mod Podge onto the cardboard. I'm peeling away the backing layer of the napkin and placing it on top. I'm gently pressing it down so the napkin adheres well and follows the grooves of the corrugated cardboard. I'm using the back of my paintbrush to gently press the napkin into the grooves of the cardboard, making sure it follows the fluted texture. Once the napkin is fully attached, I'm sealing it with another layer of Mod Podge on top to decoupage and protect the paint. I'm trimming off any excess napkin around the edges, then applying some glue to the back of the cardboard strip. Now I'm pasting it around the bottom of the painted cardboard roll, making sure it's nice and snug all the way around. Then I'm tracing a cardboard circle to fit the bottom of our vase and cutting it out. I'm painting it with white acrylic paint, and once it dries, I'm attaching the base to the bottom of the cardboard roll using hot glue. To add a little more detail, I'm taking this white lace ribbon and gluing it all the way around the top edge of the vase, creating a pretty little border. I'm trimming off the excess ribbon, and for the final touch, I'm adding this little ribbon bow to the center of the floral cuff. Then I'm placing a pearl sticker right in the middle of the bow for a cute finishing detail. And that completes our DIY Coquette cardboard roll vase. You can also use it as a cute desk organizer for storing your pens, markers, or other little supplies. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed these DIY cardboard projects. Don't forget to subscribe for more DIY ideas, and I'll see you in my next one.